Monday it was 70. I was sweating at work.
I sweat at work every day. It could be fucking.
And I work from a desk.
I work in freezers.
Yeah, right. Shout out to J-Lo.
Industry special.
Shout out to J-Lo. Rob, give
And
a
Big
shout
Game
out.
Mike.
Shout out to J-Lo.
I love you both.
Saving lives. Saving
Yo,
this man's
more than once.
livelihood.
More than once.
All right, last question. How many airports are you banned from?
It's not airports, it's airlines. And American Airlines.
You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer
American,
You know what I mean? So-
Cause it's the industry special. I got a special for you. Any dude to get drunk.
Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Industry Special, the show where we talk to the people that only talk to you because they have to. Today we are here with the one that got away, Mr. Jay Stadler. Jay, how are you today?
Living the dream, bro. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well myself. We're about to have a drink. Can you explain to everybody what we're drinking today?
So we've got two options here. You know, I'm a particular fan of a particular kind of drink, and let's make the first one first. You want me to walk you through it?
Yeah. Give me the steps. Give me the steps.
All right.
Pretend that you're training me.
Oh, God help us all. Yep. So you're gonna take that glass,
Okay.
right? You're gonna put 3 or 4 ice cubes in it.
Okay. Got ice cubes right down here. We got the nice little tongs.
You just want to place them in
too.
there gently. You don't drop them. You just place them in there gently. Yeah, like you're diffusing a bomb. Come on.
Which wire should I cut?
Well, you're not cutting any. You're putting it in. All right. Good. That's good.
Okay.
All right. And you're just gonna take that sweet elixir right there.
Fine whiskey
Yeah.
of unknown origins. No branding.
Hashtag branding. And then you're just gonna pour it until I say when. When. And we're done. We call that a beat the heat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
summery.
keeps you cool in the summer.
Because
Really
of
good.
the ice.
Yeah, because of the ice. Because the
Yeah.
ice is cold, you say.
Yes.
Yeah, so it
yes.
cools you down.
That's what keeps the water together.
Yeah.
The coldness.
But it's mid-October right now, so we're gonna do a warm your bones. That's what I call it, the warm
Yeah,
your bones.
the
All
warm
right,
your
and you're gonna
bones.
take that same elixir.
Okay.
You're gonna put it in this glass right here
All
until
right.
I say when. When. And we're done. Keep you warm like a blanket.
Wow. You know, sometimes simplicity really just the only thing that matters.
Yeah, who needs the frills?
Yeah.
Also, anything you put in there, it's added sugar. Sugar's terrible for you.
I mean, exactly. Yeah, you got to watch calories, especially in the winter
In the winter.
approaches.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want those extra calories on your bones.
No, those are empty calories.
Yeah.
These are warm calories. They're
Yeah.
different.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is a fine drink. Cheers,
Cheers.
buddy.
Enjoy. Oh yeah, I forgot you do that.
Got to toast the bar.
Mm.
Unless it's a shit bar, then you don't have to do it.
Oh, this one's all right. Yeah, that's delicious, man. It's
pretty good.
I mean, what else do you really want?
I like the
really
different
don't.
flavors I got
Yeah.
going on in mine.
Smoke, vanilla, caramel, depending on where you're from and who your god is, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's perfect.
Do you have a god?
No. I mean the universe.
I think you're drinking it.
It's my mentor. I wouldn't call it my god necessarily. I would say it's my my interior monologue. Yeah.
Your good buddy.
Yeah. You know, my conscience keeps
Yeah.
me honest. Like, listen, don't do that. You're gonna need booze soon.
So, just to explain to the audience here, so this show is about talking to people that work in the service industry. You don't anymore.
Not anymore, no.
How long did you work in the service industry, and what did you do?
So I started in food service when I was like 14. So 2000 maybe?
The year 2000?
Yeah, the year 2000.
Okay.
And I stopped working in food service when I turned 30.
So 16 years.
Roughly, yeah.
And you worked in back of house in the kitchens and
Mostly, yeah. So I started as a dishwasher. I actually started as pulling weeds at this restaurant in Kannapolis, North Carolina, or Concord, North Carolina.
Okay.
And that's like the first job I had. They paid me under the table, and then they needed a dishwasher, and then I became a line cook and blah, blah, blah. But I've been cooking before that with like my grandma and stuff. But not like in a restaurant, obviously.
Right. So do you like cooking?
Yeah, I love cooking. Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Did working in the kitchens make you question that at all? Or
No. It was by far the most enjoyable and fulfilling experience of my life.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
200%.
I mean, when we came in
It
today,
made me who I am.
I smelled something cooking. So like,
Yeah,
what do you
venison
think?
and spicy chicken chili.
Ooh, sounds amazing.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Well, that's nice to hear because like a lot of times people get into the industry and just everything else about the industry and working, like the rushes, the people you have to work with, and like depending on
I mean, don't get me wrong, all
where
that
you work,
sucks.
the managers, but like it can make you like not love it as much, So that's nice to hear that you never.
That's environment though.
never
That's
do.
not cooking. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
that's not. Like I don't enjoy cooking for money anymore. No.
Right. That's why you got out.
Yeah. Because like nobody wants to like pay me money, the money I want to cook the food I want to cook.
Right.
So I'm not gonna do that.
What's like? How many different places did you work?
So when I was like 13, 14, I got that job it's called Villa Roma Ristorante. It's like a Italianized, Greek, bastardized version of like a pizza shop, but like nicer.
Okay.
And I started there when I was 14. I worked there until I was 16, and by the end I was like, I don't want to say running that place, but I was the bartender. Not supposed to be. I was a waiter. I was a cook. I was everything.
Oh shit! At 16?
Yeah.
Damn.
And then after that, I went to this place down the street called DJ's, and they're still at DJ's in Salisbury, and they had opened another DJ's in Concord, and that's where like I learned a lot. Man, it was a lot of fun.
What kind of place was that?
Again, it was a very Greek place.
Okay. The higher end.
Yeah, but higher end, and again, like think like Greek diner on steroids, and like doing higher end stuff. But again, like everything is from scratch. Everything is to order. Like that, I really, you don't get that lucky to like get. With no experience really, like I was a dishwasher, I worked at a tiny little pizza place, but now I'm here and like, dude, everything is from scratch. And like,
I bet you learned a lot.
I learned a lot. Like I started out working the garde station, which is like salads and blah, blah, blah. And then like by the time I left, which was years later, I was working like a 14 burner saute station, which is just like, it was dope.
Damn.
Yeah. Like the way I explain it to people is like, I didn't play sports really when I was in school. Like I did, but I sucked at them. I didn't enjoy them. Like cooking was my sport. And I was fucking pretty decent at it.
Sounds like it.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was a lot of fun. And I was way younger than everybody. So like they bought me cigarettes and booze, and I was like, fantastic, dude, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. This is great.
And here you are now.
Yeah, right, doing the same old thing, yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're at the Sleaze, Resort and Lodge.
Sleaze Resort and Lodge, yes, sir.
Jay's fine establishment that he has humbly let us come in and interrupt
my girlfriend's
life.
house. I just live here sometimes.
Sometimes.
But when she lets me.
When you're not out on the curb.
Yeah, when she lets me.
Well, cool. So it's been 16 years since you left a cooking job.
Not 16 years since. So I worked in cooking for 16 years, and I've been out of food for 5-6 years.
What are you doing now?
I'm a software engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, I really do. I enjoy it a lot.
Which, obviously, you probably think this is better than working in kitchens.
I wouldn't say better necessarily. I mean, it's a lot easier. Like as far as like demands on your time.
Right.
That's my thing.
Right.
Like I work from home, dude. I go to the office one day a week, if that.
That's pretty nice.
It's fantastic.
Can't do that in the kitchen.
Can't do that in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm putting in less hours and making slightly more money, which is nice. But like it's kind of the same, in a sense. Like
how so?
Like so if you're a chef of whatever, a type of establishment, whether it's a cafeteria or a fine dining restaurant or whatever, like you break everything down into small tasks. And then those tasks you break down into like systems, or you make a system or an algorithm for that task, and it's done the same way every time for the specific task that it is. And then at the end you fucking round everything. Oh, can I curse? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Fuck yeah, you can curse.
Yeah. You just summarize everything and put it. Yeah, it's essentially the same thing. It's just a different material.
Yeah. I mean, it's all
a medium, rather.
Managing
just parts of things
like
that make a bigger
parts.
thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like
and managing them in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
That's it.
Which industry has harder people to work with?
I guess that depends on whoever you're asking. It's like personality.
Well, for you, yeah.
Right. People in the food service industry tend to be able to, like, they have a thicker skin. They're a lot more blunt. They wear their emotions on their sleeves a lot more. So for me, as somebody who is also like that, it's a lot easier to understand that person.
Right.
In the software industry, that is not the typical person you run into, and it's a lot harder for me to understand them, but I try my best.
That makes sense, yeah.
And I've started to assimilate to their side, be a little bit, calmer, chiller, so.
Don't go all the way, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at work at least, you know, you gotta keep it under wraps, bro.
Yeah.
Can't let him know everything. Come on, bro.
Speaking of which, no. We're gonna cut this part out. I gotta look up my questions.
Where's your
sure.
other one? You finish it?
Finished it.
Get it together, dude.
It's a drink break for the producer.
It's union mandated.
Union
Union mandated booze break.
Mike,
Booze break.
summer or winter?
Ooh, summer, please.
Okay. Gotta beat the heat.
It's October.
after all. It is October,
Yeah.
and I'm almost 300 pounds.
But it's a North Carolina October.
That's
It
true.
was 75 degrees today.
No, it was not. Not at any point.
Or yesterday.
No, it was not. It hasn't.
All right.
It hasn't broken 65.
Monday.
Dude, anything below 80, and I take notice. It has not broken 65 in a couple of days.
Monday it was 70. I was sweating at work.
I sweat at work every day. It could be fucking.
And I work from a desk.
I work in freezers.
Yeah, right. It's not ideal.
No.
So
How much does your height really affect? Like, have you ever had an issue there, like that, like stopped you, or I don't know if this is making any sense, but like you are one of the tallest people I know.
I'm not. Oh, I know a handful of people way taller than me.
How tall are you?
I'm like 6'4", 6'3", depending how bad the hunch is that day.
Okay. So you're not like Shaq height,
No.
but still pretty tall. It's
I
way
got
above
I
average.
got one friend, Wes. He's fucking like 6'7".
That's pretty tall.
That's pretty tall. We call him the baby giraffe. Just like walk right up. But yeah, you know, it doesn't really come into play. I know that like if you're too tall, you can't work on like a nuclear sub, but I have no desire to do that. So
Is that true?
yeah, totally. That's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wanted to work on a nuclear sub, but he was too tall, so he played basketball.
Wow. That's too bad. He had to pick that second choice.
Well, he was also in a Bruce Lee movie or two, so good for him.
What a fucking fallback.
Yeah, yeah. He just had to. He had to play in the
want to join
NBA.
the Navy, but as a safety,
Yes.
I'll join the
I'll be
fucking
one of the
NBA.
most famous
I'll be
basketball
arguably the best
players
basketball player ever.
of all
Jesus.
time.
Yeah, that's a true story.
Sorry, I shouldn't be shouting into this.
You do what you want, man.
You're not mic'd up, Mike.
That's why I'm shouting.
Oh, dude, actually, it sounded regular to me. I guess I'm just deaf.
Dude, I'm deaf.
So I'm sorry if I'm shouting. Audience. Look at the camera. What did you call it? A gym in it?
Either one.
Yeah, so.
So, for the audience at home, I don't know if they feel this way, but I think you're a pretty funny dude. You do stand-up comedy.
Used to, yeah.
Used to.
Yeah.
And that's a profession in its own right.
Yeah, not for me, but people do that. Yeah, totally. I definitely could not support myself doing it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to.
It takes a lot of work.
And a lot of patience.
A lot of time.
Which
patience.
I don't have patience.
Yeah. But how much would your work life, did that influence your set at all? Like the jokes you write? Like, would you tell jokes about work
When
and
I was
cooking?
cooking, yeah, a little bit. Like, it was never like, oh, you know, like what happened at the restaurant today.
Right.
I had a lot of things about like what people think about when you tell, like what people think and do when you tell them you're a chef. Like, oh, you know, I'm out on a date and I tell this girl I'm a chef, and she's like, oh, I bet you could make me anything I want.
Yeah.
Anything. Like, that's what people like.
People
To this day,
think
I
of,
haven't,
like,
I haven't cooked in
ratatouille
years,
and
and when I
shit.
show up someplace and like for a barbecue, people are like, oh, you want to cook? And I'm like, I mean, I can't. I don't want to, but I will.
like, I already do
I
that.
will if you are going to ruin it. Yes, because I also want to eat.
Right.
Yeah, and not eat garbage. Yeah.
And is it better when you're cooking? You think? Like, do you think the food
So
tastes better when you cook it?
I'm not a fair judge of that because I think anything that I don't have to cook tastes fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't care who cooks what for me. If somebody made something for me, I'm just like, thank you so much.
But there is that part of like when you cook something and eat it, there's that feeling of, oh, I made this, and it wouldn't exist.
Not anymore, really.
No.
No, now it's maintenance.
Gotcha.
Like, I gotta eat, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna eat garbage. That's the problem. It's like chefs become snobs.
Right.
You know. So like,
I mean,
and
you
that's
do it enough, like.
Well, you do it enough. Like, so if it's a choice between, I don't know, making some kind of Asian noodle or whatever, or spending $30, $15, $20 for the same noodle, and I have all the stuff here, I'm like, I'll just make it. Like,
Right.
because like I'm gonna make it. I don't want to say better, but more to my liking,
Yeah.
and then I don't have to deal with it.
What's the worst thing you've ever seen happen in a kitchen?
As far as what, like sanitation, food. Oh, dude, I've seen some terrible things.
Name a few.
So I worked at this one restaurant where
You can also include your own kitchen.
Oh, well, no, dude, my kitchen's pretty... I mean, I will say I tend to do the rinse and dip. Like, I have a tasting spoon, and I don't want to be blowing through tasting spoons, so I will rinse it under hot water for a minute and then taste again.
Yeah.
That's gross, I think, but also I'm hammered and I don't want to do all these dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you're cooking at home, so like...
Yeah. Well, no, like if there's people here and stuff.
Right.
Like, if it's my girl, I don't, it doesn't matter. But if there's people here, I sometimes do that. That's not ideal.
Yeah. What about at work?
So many terrible things. The place I worked back in the day, this dude would come in and he's like, I want the wings hot. And they were never hot enough. So then, like, these guys, they were all Greek guys. They all put, like, the hottest shit you could think of on these wings. And then, a little extra.
Yeah. Like fuck them up.
Yeah. A little, we'll, like, spit. And I was like, like that, I don't really get down with that. But I was, 16 or whatever. It's their place. I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. Don't really have
but mostly it's like, it's never anything terrible. It's like, something fell on the floor. We dropped it in the fryer again to like sanitize it or whatever. Like especially if you're working at like a rough place.
Yeah.
Like
That's
they
funny.
weren't all high.
That's
fine
twice
dining.
now we've heard this. The other guy who worked in kitchens that we interviewed said the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, like fine dining is a different animal.
There's an actual 5-second rule.
Yeah,
just throw it in the fryer.
Yeah.
The fryer.
Also, like, well, no, it's not
Burn
a
off all the
5-second rule.
germs.
It's a biology chemistry rule.
Right.
Like there are no bacteria that are going to stand 365, 350 degrees in a deep fat fryer for 5 seconds. There's just not.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what's on it. Well,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And we're trying to make money. We're trying to pump out food. And that's the thing. It's like a cheesecake factory, a macaroni grill, blah blah blah. That's where those things happen. I mean, I don't know that it happens at those places. Don't sue me. But I've worked at those places and done that. Is all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you miss it?
I miss the honesty of it. You know, like you're only as good as you are today, and like the dude, you're only like you got to be better than the dude standing next to you.
Yeah.
And like. The kitchen is your sanctuary, like.
Yeah, and everybody takes their turn showing up hungover, or maybe still a little drunk from the night before.
Yeah, I mean that's neither here nor there. Like, Anthony Bourdain said it best. He was like, all the best characteristics about me, I learned in the kitchen. It's like, be prepared, right? Like I got to get my mise en place in place. Like if I'm coming to work the station, I'm going to get there and I'm going to set that station the way I want. So be prepared. Yeah. Like clean up after yourself, clean as you go. Like, these are all things that, they apply to a kitchen, but you can apply to other aspects of your life.
Yeah, they're very versatile skills.
Yeah, and, like, if I had not been in the food service industry doing what I was doing at the young age that I was doing it, I cannot imagine the garbage person I would be.
No.
Yeah, totally. All of the best features and characteristics about me as a person come from being in food service. Totally, 200%.
Fucking cheers to that, man.
Yeah.
I think you're a pretty stand-up guy.
I do what I can.
Check my questions real quick.
Can I get a little ice? Can I get a beat the heat?
So how was your time on a cruise ship?
It was okay. It was okay. It was cool.
Yeah.
So,
How long did you work on a cruise ship?
2 years.
You lasted that long? Because I have a friend that tried to do it, and he said it was so awful that he only lasted like 2 months.
No, I definitely did longer than 2 months. Yeah, it was rough. Like, it was like 20 months, 2 years, somewhere in there.
What was it like? Like, because you can't leave the boat, right?
No, but like really, a lot of that time. I mean, most of that time was on the boat, but the early times were not on the boat. So like when you get the company I worked for, when you get the job with them, the first thing they do is they send you to this place in Maryland, and it seems like this like hotel they took over basically. And they put like bunk beds in all the hotel rooms. And so it was like 4 or 5 people to a room, whatever. Because there's like sometimes there's like some single beds in there, and you're there.
That's just the staff, right?
Well, you're there for training.
Yeah.
That's why you're there. It's a training center. So you're there for training for a month, and while you're there, you're like learning for the back. I don't know what the front of the house did, but for the back of the house, you're learning like specific recipes and procedures and blah blah blah, and they're like evaluating you, whatever.
I could never do that. I could never do something like that.
Why not? It was dope, dude. You're living there rent free.
I mean, but like just being confined and like under
dude,
that umbrella the whole time.
I'm an institutional. I went to military school. Blah blah.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I did not know that.
Yeah. So I'm institutional. Like before that, I was in a bunk bed. I didn't have my own room until I was like 15, and I moved out like 8 months after that.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a big family, kind of same, but it was way more chaotic than like there was no military school in our family. There's not a lot of structure.
Yeah.
No, we're a bunch of fucking maniacs.
Yeah.
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 I respect it. I love it.
So yeah, you set up in a hotel for training.
Yeah, so we're set up in a hotel for training. While you're there, you're learning all this shit. And then you also have to have like certain Coast Guard certifications, right? Because you're on a boat. So technically, you're a member of the Coast Guard. So you get what's
Really?
called your MMD card, your Merchant Marine card.
You learn how to like do the CPR and shit.
CPR, fire safety, lifeboat training, all that shit. Cold water training, all that shit.
Just to serve drinks on a boat.
I didn't serve drinks,
food.
but yeah, just to live on a boat.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. It's like you live there, bro. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're on the boat that long, the odds go up that something's going to happen.
So what was your duty on the boat?
So when I started, I was in the veg room, which is basically you prep vegetables for the entire boat, all the restaurants, everything else. And they have like potato tumblers. You know what that is, a potato tumbler?
Potato tumbler?
Yeah. So it's a machine. You just dump a bag of potatoes in and it peels potatoes, basically.
No.
Yeah.
I wish I knew what that was.
potato
That sounds
tumbler.
awesome.
So there was that. There was like a bunch of different slice machines, whatever. And you prep like all the different restaurants, put in a rec form, a requisition form, and you just make whatever they tell you. Like, I need 45 pounds of Asian veg or whatever, and there's all specs to that shit.
Right.
And you just do that. Yeah.
How much interaction do you have with the guests?
I had zero.
Zero?
Yeah, zero.
So you just
But you also don't want
in the veg
interaction
room.
with the guests. You don't want. Because that's how they get you.
Right.
Like, if you're front of the house and you get caught, like, fraternizing with any guest, it's not good.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so we don't want that. Yeah.
You're saying we like you're still there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still relate to them at, on a spiritual level. I'm like, yo, they don't want that. But it was cool. And then after the bedroom, I worked in the bedroom for like 2 or 3 months, and then I got moved to the crew galley, which is where you feed the crew 4 meals a day.
Right.
So it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight meal. And I like that a lot because that was a lot more about like wheeling and dealing, right? Like, so like at the end of the week, right? So embarkation, when you bring all the new people on, is on Sundays. So on Saturday, there's all this leftover shit down in provisions, like down in the walk-ins, right? Because the bottom of the boat is all walk-ins.
Right.
And if you know a cat on provisions and you work in the crew galley and it's the end of the week, right before embarkation day, you can get all the leftover good shit for free, basically. And, save your fucking food costs, budget costs, whatever, and have everybody have a great time. So
Right.
I did that a bunch. That was cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I did that until I left. Yeah. Because I dug the crew galley. Like, I'm not trying to fuck with guests. I don't care about them. Like,
So, like, when you guys are making stops in different ports or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
so we did
are you
all
picking,
around
Are you picking
Hawaii.
up fresh ingredients every
No,
time?
no. We get one embarkation day. That's Sundays. The boat I was on. It was Sundays. We're in Honolulu. We get all of our everything, all of our guests, and then we go to several other places. There's only two that were there overnight, Kauai and Maui, and then after that we're back in Honolulu, dropping everybody off, picking everybody up.
Restocking again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was on the boat when the tsunami hit in Japan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, like, I was on the boat. And
How close is Hawaii to, like...
I don't know. I don't know geography very good, but it's not far.
Yeah, it's closer than I think most
It's closer
Americans
than we
think,
are
think-
right now,
It's closer
definitely.
than most Americans think it is.
Yeah, totally.
Which, like...
I think it's closer to Japan than it is to America.
Totally.
Yeah,
definitely.
Or it's equidistant.
Yeah, because,
think about Pearl Harbor alone. Like,
Well, it's
those jets weren't flying
Polynesian.
around the world.
Yeah, they pulled it off.
Yeah, they fucking pulled it off.
Pulled it off.
Jay, in all of your time working in the industry, do you have a story? Like if someone were to ask you, what's the greatest thing that ever happened? Like, something that stands out that you would like to tell.
The day I missed the boat, which you're not supposed to do. So the deal is, right, like you get your MMD card, you get on the boat, blah, 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 right? And you go to port, and there's only 2 ports for every boat that are overnight, right? And you can do whatever you want. If you're off those shifts, you don't have to work overnight, you can get off the boat, you can do whatever you want, right? And if you don't make it back by the time the boat leaves, right, you don't check in, at the next port, they throw your shit off and you're on your own. That's it. You're done. Like they
throw it in the water.
No. They throw it off at the next port with your name on it, and I guess you have to claim. I don't know how that works. Right. So we were in Maui one night, and that is one of the places where we were overnight. And I go out with some people. Blah blah blah. One dude like kept a car at the long-term parking lot the Maui airport, so we had a car. We're in hotels, blah blah blah. Whenever we go to the beach, we have a great time. Obviously,
Miss the boat.
I have too much. I wake up and I see the boat leaving across the beach. Well, because I woke up on the beach.
Did you think about jumping in and swimming
And I was
to
like,
it?
that sucks. But they have these like puddle jumpers there, right? Like, so you can fly like pretty quick between the islands of Hawaii
Puddle jump?
for cheap.
Oh,
Yeah, because
is
there's
that a
multiple
plane-
there's multiple
flying term?
islands,
Okay.
right? Like there's the big island of Honolulu, there's
Port-
Hawaii,
just
there's
port to
Kona,
port, yeah.
right? So you can fly to all the islands pretty cheap, pretty quick.
Right.
And I knew a dude who worked on provisions or embarkation, right? This dude named J-Lo, who's like, his real name was Marvin, but everybody called him J-Lo because he's from Guam, Guabanian.
Okay.
He's a Guabanian drag queen who had cheek implants and ass implants to make himself look like J-Lo.
Holy
Jennifer
shit.
Lopez. Yeah, and he looked great. He was fantastic. He was one of my best friends the whole time I was there.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he was fucking fantastic. So I call him on his cell phone. I'm like, yo, bro, I missed the boat. And he's like, can you get to wherever by whatever time? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. He's like, all right, I'll get you on, no problem. So I fucking hop a plane, get over there, hop on, and he's like, sneaks me in. And the next day, like, the captain is like at the door, like knocking on my door because I haven't checked in.
Right.
Right. And he's like, oh, we thought you weren't here. I was like, no, I'm here. And they're like, well, you didn't check in. I was like, I don't know. I showed my ID and my pass to the guy at the door. I don't know.
Wow.
Well, all right.
Wow.
Like, yeah, peace.
Holy
It only happened once, but man, it was sketch. And thank God for J-Lo. Dude, on more than one occasion, may I say, shout out to J-Lo. He was the fucking best. Or she, I don't know. They were the best.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
dude.
Saved your life. Saved your
Yeah.
job.
So
Yeah.
this is, I'm sure we're going over. I'm sorry, but so one night we're at a bar in Honolulu, right? Like, so we all decide to go out, and there was J-Lo, right? Who is like, so first of all, on the boat for whatever reason, there's a bunch of people from Guam, and for whatever reason, a lot of people from Guam tend to be drag queens. I don't know why. It is the way it is, from what I've seen at least, my experience, right? So there was J-Lo, his real name was Marvin. Then there was Melvin, who was another drag queen. There was and then there was Big Gay Mike. He was from Nebraska. Yeah, and he put it together too. So we all get off the boat one night. And we decide to go to this bar, right? We go to a bar. I have a little bit too much to drink. I just I get kicked out of the bar, right? And I'm like, man, like, to the bouncers. I'm like, hey man, you gotta let me know. I gotta let my friends know that I'm leaving. And they're like, who are your friends? And I'm like, you know those two 6'5" guys at the bar dressed like ladies? The two 6'5" guys in full cocktail dresses? Yeah, those are my friends. And they're like, oh, okay. So they go and tell them, I guess, that I'm being thrown out of the bar. And the next thing I know, J-Lo and Big Gay Mike are beating the shit out of these two bouncers in cocktail dresses.
Oh my
They're just
God.
like, whoa, dude, they're waffle stopping this dude. Like, it was the
Oh
best
my
shit.
God.
You don't fucking talk to my friend like that. Dude, it was great.
Dude.
It was great.
That
and
is
then we just
fucking
left.
amazing.
And then we just left.
Oh, yeah. You can't hang around.
Yeah. We had to go. I was at the time I was like 19. I was in there on like a fake ID. It was bad.
Oh, shit.
How old were you?
19.
19.
So from 19 to 20, right before I turned 21, I worked on the boat. Yeah.
Christ. On a cracker.
Christ on it. Yeah.
Christ
That's,
on a cracker.
Yeah,
All
dude,
right.
it was intense.
that is an amazing story and an amazing place to wrap up.
Shout out to J-Lo.
Industry special.
Shout out to J-Lo. Rob, give
And
a
Big
shout
Gay
out.
Mike.
Shout out to J-Lo.
I love you both.
Saving lives. Saving
Yo,
this man's
more than once.
livelihood.
More than once.
Are you ready for the lightning round?
Sure. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
I'm going to ask you a series of questions.
Please do.
Just off the top of your head, whatever you say.
Okay.
They're pretty basic questions.
Okay.
60 seconds on the clock.
60 seconds.
What's your favorite curse word?
It's between fucking cunt.
Well, that answers my second question, which was, what's your second favorite curse word?
Fucking cunt.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Anything Asian, really. I like African food too, but easiest is Asian. Yeah. You just throw the shit in a wok and call
Certain
it.
dish or just in general?
So I really like either like anything Szechuan, but like double cooked pork belly,
Ooh.
or Singapore chili crab, which I know is not Szechuan, but I also like that. Just shit like that, or like coconut curry noodles. You know, just like random, very.
Do you own a wok? Like a
Yeah,
wok?
yeah, several. Yeah,
Nice.
of course I own a wok.
Okay.
What the fuck? Who are you talking to, dude? Yes.
I honestly don't
Yeah,
know.
fucking I own a wok and a wok cooker and a wok ring. Like yes, I totally own a wok. Asian food is the best food on the planet.
if
Fuck
you-
the French.
If you had to pick one between Cooking as a job. Cooking, software engineering, and stand-up comedy. What would you do? If you had to pick one.
I mean, as a job, what do you mean? Like, what is the income the same across the board? Probably not. Is the if quality of life?
If you had to pick one,
quality of life, I'm picking software
and you
engineering.
can live a life in America.
Quality of life, I'm picking software engineering. Enjoyment of a day job, I'm picking anything culinary. True full fulfillment of who I want to be, I'm picking stand-up comedy.
It's a good answer.
But, you got to pay the fucking bills, bro.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
All right, last question. How many airports are you banned from?
It's not airports, it's airlines. And American Airlines...
You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer
American
that.
Airlines is the only one I'm banned from. And that's because they're a shit service, they're a shit company. Listen, you know how you booked a flight to American Airlines, you end up on a bus to Philly. That's how it fucking goes every time. Fuck American Airlines, fuck all their subsidiaries. Sorry, Qantas, I know you never crash, that's not my problem. But I'm just saying American Airlines is the fucking worst. You should fly Delta, they're fantastic. Fuck American Airlines, and let's leave it at that.
And on that note, this has been another fantastic episode of Industry Special. Thank you for tuning in. This is Jay Stadler. My name is Rob Rinaldi.
It was very nice to
Mike
meet you all.
Rinaldi, behind the camera. Yeah, take a
very much
bow.
on the mic.
Take a bow.
Very much on the mic.
We'll see you next time, shitbirds.
I'm the problem with
This was a good time.
This is a good time.
This was fun.
Cause it's the industry special.